Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've all turned up on time.
Two of us are on council, one isn't.
I did.
Rates increases down. If I can't deliver on that, I'd be better off crutching sheep.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've all turned up on time, so let's kick it off on time. If you've rolled up to this Havelock North event and you were expecting a circus, I'm very sorry to report that the circus is across the road. Because notwithstanding the big tent going there, this is a 5-ring act tonight with 5 incredible candidates, and we have a very special guest by the name of Prue, who is 11 and is going to be holding the candidates, Prio, who has a very special job, and that is holding the candidates to account with a water gun and a timer.
Results. But right now, the Hastings District Council is being reckless with your money. They bought a building in town for $1 million. It was only valued at $600,000, and then they sold it for $150,000 2 years later. That's 15 cents in the dollar. Who was held accountable?
Recovery demands sharper leadership. We need bold ideas, smarter use of resources, stronger collaboration with neighbouring councils, and better ways of funding and delivering the services that matter most. The good news? Hastings is full of opportunity. Our food and primary sector, tourism and a growing knowledge economy give us huge potential. But potential doesn't unlock itself. It takes leadership, it takes focus, it takes belief. I believe
our district is becoming unaffordable for the people who built it. Yes, we've had crises. Yes, spending money on the cyclone was necessary and it was the right thing to do. But justifying past spending doesn't help ratepayers who are struggling today.
What I have down is to ask each of you to say something you genuinely admire about one of the other candidates on stage. I did.
Well, two of us are on council, one isn't. I like the fact that really, if you look in this audience here tonight, you're very young.
Look, Damon, I really appreciate that even when we differ around the council table, we can still sit down, have a chat, and talk it out. And Steve, I haven't worked with you yet, so maybe we can look forward to that, and maybe I'll have some more positives and maybe a negative by the time you get there.
Candidates, they are all passionate and they all want to do their very best for Hawke's Bay because they do love the Hawke's Bay and Hastings. So I want to put that's my commend them both for that, and the two that aren't here. And Darren, he'd have to be the most passionate of the lot. I'm the only one that really wants to cap rates to inflation, and it's just something I really drive towards.
I think 5% is manageable, 5 to 6% based on what we're facing at the moment.
Okay. Marcus Bideau. Same question. What is the absolute upper number that you wouldn't support it to go higher?
Look, I actually agree with Damon on the 5 to 6%. That's something that we can manageably get down to. At the end of the day, it comes down to choices. It's about what residents will actually accept that we look at, what we can reduce spending in. For example, maybe I'm just not a culture lover, but I think we need to look at our art gallery in town. That would represent a certain amount of a percentage or two in rate savings year on year.
In my view, amalgamation has to happen. I was involved in 2015 to try and get amalgamation across the line here in Hawke's Bay.
What's one policy you'd be willing to stake your reputation on, even if it costs you re-election?
Total restructure of council. Back to 10-year levels ago. We have to get rid of 100 staff.
For me, it's really clearly getting rates increases down. If I can't deliver on that, I'd be better off crutching sheep.
Really sorting out the financials as soon as we possibly can, but that is without losing the momentum as well. We do live in a great place, don't we? Are we that grumpy about the place we live in or not? Because I damn well love this place, so that's what we need to focus in on. But
Steve.
Vanity projects, you've heard it many times, you've seen them. Civic Square being upgraded for $1 million. It's this sort of stuff that's costing us money. 483 staff at this council, that's up 104 years ago. 45 departments. Do we need 45 departments? Manawatu District Council, when I was there, we had less than 10 departments. We had 2 group managers, 2.5 actually, because one of them was shared. So shared services. Why do we need 8 group managers and a deputy CEO? $39 million we spend on staff. You take the top 10 echelon out, and they're averaging $80,000 a year, these staff, and most of them aren't even qualified. Like, is that reflecting the private society? Is that reflecting you guys? And the other thing, we're ripping citizens off with this council preferred contractors. We got rid of those in Manawatu in 2010 because I knew it was wrong. You should have competition. My pensioner lady that I door knocked on wanted a tree removed from her place. $200, the local digger driver was there, was going to remove it for. No. Must go through the council preferred contractor for $2,500.
I do have a business. It's not the brothel that I actually managed to shut down a week or so ago. It actually is a wellness studio. But
What's one thing we should borrow from Napier, and what's one thing they should borrow from us? You have to compliment Napier, basically. That's very difficult, I know.
Well, one would hope they were tourism, and I think in the arts would have to go with us. So they are Hawke's. Well, actually, they're both good at arts. Hawke's. That's a hard one, isn't it? So yeah, their tourism model, but I think we just needed to be smarter when it comes to roads. We're good at the urban roads and the rural roads, so we should be the boss of the roads. They could be the boss of tourism, for example.
what could we give them in return? I'm not sure about that one, really.
Well, apparently, according to the poll, 42% of Te Pāti Māori support me, and I don't support Māori Wards. And there is a reason for that, because I'm not anti-Māori, right? Because I believe they can go really 100% on their own 2 feet. And it's you look at a spoiled child, you give them everything and give them and don't let them work for it. What happens? They don't perform. Way better to help people help themselves. They don't need special treatment. They are very willing and very capable of getting on council with their own 2 feet.
Well, I'll blow the bubble in the room. I, as well as Marcus, have supported and voted for Māori Wards on our council. The way I looked at that was that they actually looked at it in the protection of the land and wanting to make sure that that was something that would drive our economy forward. So I have supported
Should I be
Māori
privileged
Wards.
enough to stand here in 3 years' time seeking re-election? I want to be able to do it based on delivery. I want to be able to stand up here, look you in the eye, and tell you that together we've seen rates rises kept in check and housing more affordable. Why? It's so that you can afford to live in our district, be successful, retire securely, so that your children can see a future here, buy a house, and have children of their own, so that your grandchildren grow up on your doorstep, not at the other end of a phone screen.
I've never been afraid to challenge the status quo or stand up for ratepayers, whether it's fighting red tape or driving improvements. I pushed through the review of Building Regulatory Department and it has been turned around. On rates and debt, I've made sure you've known the truth and I've held council accountable and transparent. But let's be clear, Hastings has been hit hard and some candidates are promising easy fixes. We all want lower rates, of course we do. But leadership is about being honest. I'll fight to minimise impacts, but I won't let Hastings lose the progress we've made, because this is bigger than rates. It's about the kind of place we want Hastings to be. I will fight for Hastings at the highest level of power. Do we retreat into being a small, struggling town with little hope for our kids, or do we choose to be bold, to grow and attract investment and to create opportunities to build the district that thrives?
While families budget carefully and push past the luxury aisle, council overloads its trolley within the luxury aisle, showing just how easy it is to spend other people's money. I didn't just talk about keeping rates to inflation in Manawatu, I actually delivered it. With my 4-point plan, let's make council more efficient, shared services with neighbouring councils and reduce and restructure council. Cut costs, stop wasting millions on consultants and build in-house engineers' expertise and open council contractors to smaller, leaner contractors.